Okay. So we're going to start on our backs in Shavasana. So come down on your back in Shavasana as we start. We're going to work today to open through the backs of the shoulders and a little bit of leg strengthening. So as always, listen to your body, work to your level. I'll give you options and offerings. So you might be able to tell I'm a little congested today. There is smoke and ash blanketing my town right now. We might get evacuated because there's a fire about 10 miles away. So it's a bit of a unprecedented time in the world and unprecedented time here right now. But we're still going to do yoga despite that. So come down to lying on your backs. Where's comfortable for you? Come down and lie down, closing your eyes, and starting to shift your attention inward to your body. Letting whatever is happening in the external world run its course. You'll be alerted it's something that you need to deal with. But for the next 60 minutes or so, let's focus on being present in the present moment, not preparing for the future or dwelling on the past. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Let your arms fall away from your body. Your legs fall away from each other. And take a couple deep breaths here, expanding through your belly and your chest, breathing in through your nose if that's possible. And then let it out through your mouth. We'll do another breath like that. In through the nose, fully, deeply. Let it out through the mouth. Now, try to keep your mouth closed when you exhales, but still let go. See if you can find that whisper in the back of your throat, like your ujjayi breath, without ever opening your mouth. And keep your eyes closed here and start to move your body. We're going to get right into it. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, rotating through the wrists and the ankles. And stamp the soles of your feet into the ground behind your hips. And feel that connection of your hips to the ground. And then if it's all right with your body, go ahead and grab your knees with your hands and pull them in towards your chest. Find that length through your spine. Try to reach your tailbone to the ground as you press your shoulder blades into the ground as well. See if you can find the connection of your spine to the ground while stretching it. Go ahead and rock side to side if you'd like to bring some movement here. Give yourself a little back massage. Now go ahead and let your left foot plant back onto the ground behind your hip and stack your right ankle over top of your left thigh for figure 4. Letting your right knee press away from your body. Engage the right foot, flexing your toes back towards your knee, protecting that knee by engaging the muscles. You can stay here. If you want or need more, go ahead and pull that left thigh, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, and maybe pulling that in towards your chest, opening up through that right hip, and try to keep that right knee away from your body. Keeping your eyes closed here, if that's okay, and really tuning in, seeing what feels good, finding your edge, and also finding what's comfortable. So tuning in, pulling back if you feel pain, but pulling deeper if you feel a good stretch. We can grow from discomfort if we allow ourselves to, right? Release your hands and see if you can keep if you pull your left knee in, see if you can keep it in using a little bit of your abdominal muscles. Releasing your arms out to a T or bent at the elbows for cactus. And then let your legs in this figure four position fall over to the left so you can stamp the right sole of your foot onto the ground. Try and keep both shoulders planted into the ground so you feel a nice twisting stretch. And you can press your right knee away from your body or let it fall in. Play around with that stretch in your body. Find where you need more release and where you need to let go. I guess that's what I'm saying. Taking a few breaths here. You can turn your head towards the right if that's okay with your neck, or just keep your head where it is, straight up to the sky. To come out of this, bring your right knee to stack on top of your left knee. And then using your hands or no hands, go ahead and bring both knees back into center, pointing that right foot onto the ground behind your hips, stacking that left ankle over your right knee and flexing that foot back towards your knee, pressing the left knee away from you for figure four on the other side. Staying here, or interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh, maybe interlace the awkward way, moving every finger over one. And go ahead and pull that in if that feels okay for you. Breathing into that stretch in the hip. Feeling inward. And finding stillness. Once you've found a good stretch, find stillness and breathe into it. Tuning in. One more breath. On an exhale, go ahead and keep that shape if you can and release the hands. Bring the arms out to the side to shoulder height, maybe bend at the elbows if you are short on space. And letting that figure four shape of your legs fall over to the right. Letting the sole of your left foot plant on the ground. Taking a moment here to really find what stretch feels good for you. Maybe it's pressing that left knee away from your body. Maybe it's letting it fall in a little bit. Try to keep both shoulder blades planted on the ground. Maybe looking over to the left if that's okay with your neck. And tuning in to your body. Being present in this place. Stretch, twist here. One more breath. Make a nice deep, full inhale. Exhale through the nose. To release this, just like the other side, stack your left knee on top of your right, releasing that figure four, and then slowly bringing your knees back up through center. Maybe grabbing your knees for one more Apadasana squeeze of the knees in towards your chest. And maybe start rocking and rolling up your spine from your tailbone to your shoulders. And then come up to a seat. You can plant the soles of your feet to the ground, keeping your knees bent. We're going to play around with a little bit of boat pose, a little bit of core engagement here. So you can totally stay here. This is a great place to be. If you want more, start to reach your chest up as you lean back. So keeping the long spine here. If you want more, you can bring your legs parallel to the ground in front of you, keeping that chest up. Maybe bringing the arms out to the side in line with your lower legs that are parallel to the ground. If you want even more, you could work on straightening the legs. None of that is quite necessary. Finding your place and holding for a breath. And then on your next exhale, we're going to low boat, which means everything, your arms and legs and your head hovers off the ground. Your shoulder blades aren't touching the ground. Hovering here. And on the next inhale, we're going to come back up to boat. Hover. Finding your expression of the pose. Holding here for another breath. Inhale. And exhale, hover, low boat here. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Finding with your breath. Inhale, high boat. Exhale, low boat. Last time. Inhale, high. And then come to a seat. Bring it forward, let it go. And we're going to come to Gomukhasana, or cow face legs. So, right leg is going to be on the bottom. Go ahead and stack that. Trying to bring your upper leg perpendicular to the edge of your mat, the short edge of your mat. And then stacking the left knee on top of the right knee. So you're sort of in even more crisscrossed than your Sukhasana. You're trying to stack the knees on top of each other. And you can let your feet come out to the side if you want to bring them sort of a 90-degree angle with your upper legs, or you can bring them in towards your hips. Whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe flexing those feet, protect the knees, and sitting up tall. We're going to do a couple seated cat-cows in this position. So placing your hands wherever is comfortable, I kind of like them right on top of my top knee. This sort of helped me broaden through the chest here. And as you inhale, try to bring your chest through your arms, expand through the belly here. Fully in, and then exhale, maybe press away from that knee, rounding your back towards the back of the room, maybe tucking your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, expand your belly, bring your chest through your arms. Big inhale, exhale, dome your back, tuck your chin, squeeze that air out. One more time. Inhale, broaden through the chest, bring it through your arms. Exhale, tuck it in, roll it in, squeeze that air out. Come back up through center. I'm going to do a little bit of a twist. So bring your hands maybe to your heart center. Just take it off of your leg. And we're going to inhale, chest up, head up, long spine. And exhale, twist over to the left. Start looking over to the left, maybe. Turn your chest towards the left. And maybe bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand back behind you. You want more stability. Trying to twist from the inside of your body before torquing it with your arms, right? Using your breath here to twist deeper by inhaling, elongating your spine, and exhale, release into that twist. You can look over your left shoulder if you'd like, or you can keep looking forward. Stay here for one more breath. And then inhale, come back to center. We're going to switch to the other side. If you'd like to just lean back and do it with your legs, you can totally do that. Or if you want to have a fun little twisty twist move, bring your right hand to the ground onto your right side and start sort of twisting your left hip off the ground to plant that left foot onto the ground. And then use both hands planted on the ground to walk yourself through towards your right foot, and then plant your butt back on the ground. And then you can work on stacking both knees on top of each other. This time the right knee is on top of the left knee. Flexing those feet wherever those lower legs are. They could be out to the side or tucked in towards your butt. Sitting tall here, hands on your knee or wherever you want them for a few cows on this side. We're going to inhale, chest through the arms, expand through that belly. Big, deep inhale here. And then exhale, round your back to the back of the room. Dome it, tuck your chin maybe. Inhale, belly expands, chest through the arms. Exhale, dome your back to the back. Last time, inhale. Expand that belly, chest through the arms, and exhale, dome your back. Tuck that chin. Inhale back through center. Maybe bringing your hands to heart center. Inhale here, long spine, bring your head as high up as you can. And then exhale, twist over to the right. Look over to the right. Try to bring that chest facing the right before releasing that left hand to your right knee and your right hand back behind you. Inhaling for a long spine here, exhaling into that twist. You can look over that shoulder if you'd like, or out in front. Breathing into this nice juicy twist. Inhale, long spine, exhale, twist. Finding that place, that balance of effort and ease. One more breath here. On your next inhale, come back through center and on your knees. We're just going to let that right knee release off of the left, coming through Sukhasana, or your easy sitting pose, and then rolling over your knees to come up into a tabletop position. Or quadruped, stacking your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Taking a moment here to find a long spine, straight back. Pressing the tops of your feet into the ground. We're going to go through a couple of classic cat-cows. Inhaling your chest forward, expand through the belly. Exhale, dome your back to the sky, tuck your chin in. Finding a rhythm here. Inhale into your breath. Expanding through the belly. And exhaling, squeezing that air out. One more time. Inhale, expand through the chest. And exhale, dome it all up to the sky. Coming back through center. We're going to tuck those right toes under. Give ourselves a little calf stretch, straightening that leg back behind us. Maybe lifting that leg so that your ankle is level with your hip. Toes pointed directly down to the ground so the hips are level with one another. Maybe reaching that left arm in front of you, maybe to the height of your left ear. Holding here for bird dog. Long spine here, engage the abdominals. And we're going to do a few bird dog crunches. So in your next exhale, bring your elbow and your knee together underneath of you and bring it up. Inhale, long arm, long leg. Exhale, connect your knee and your elbow and bring it up. One more time. Inhale, expand. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it up. Inhale, expand. Long bird dog position. Keeping that left arm where it is, go ahead and plant that right knee. And now we're going to open that left arm up to the left, rotating our chest over to the left side of the room. And then we're going to tuck that left arm in between our right leg and our right arm for a thread the needle stretch. Maybe bringing your left shoulder and your left ear to the ground. Find a little stretch across the back of your shoulder. Bringing that right arm up to the sky if you need more. Maybe finding a bind. Maybe trying to grab your left hip with your right hand. Finding whatever feels good for you and bring into it. Inhale, expand through the belly. Exhale into that left arm. Finding that stretch. One more breath here. Coming out the way you did. Bringing that right arm to the sky. Planting that right hand in front of your face. Pressing into that right hand to bring that left arm up to the sky. Open your chest. And then release your left hand to the ground. Back to your tabletop position. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and tuck those left toes under. Straighten that left leg back behind you. A little calf stretch. Maybe bringing that left heel up to the height of your hip, making sure those left toes are facing directly down to the ground, keeping your hips level. Maybe inhaling your right arm out in front of you, right arm in line with right ear, holding, engaging, bringing your belly button to your spine to hold this long bird dog. And then on your next exhale, bring your elbow and knee together. Little bird dog crunch. Bring that elbow and knee up into your chest. And then inhale, expand. Long arm, long leg. Exhale, crunch elbow to knee and bring it into your chest. Inhale, long arm, long leg. Last time, exhale, crunch elbow to knee and bring it up into your chest. Inhale, expand, long leg, long arm. Bringing your left knee to the ground. And then opening right arm reaches up to the sky, looking over to the right. And then threading your right hand in between your left arm and your left leg. Maybe bring that shoulder down to the ground. For thread the needle on the other side. Make sure maybe your palm is face up, if that feels all right. And then bringing your left arm to the sky, reaching through that left arm, maybe wrapping it around if you want to find that bind. Pressing into that right arm, inhaling fully and deeply, and exhaling. Finding, letting go into that stretch. One more breath in your own time. Big, deep inhale. Letting it go on the exhale. And then we come out the way you came in. Bringing that left arm to the sky, planting that left hand in front of your face. Pressing that left hand to reach that right arm up to the sky, open your chest, and then plant it onto the mat. Bring your toes to touch and heels slightly apart, knees back up to a distance, and sit your butt back into child's pose. Letting your head touch the ground if you can, reaching your arms when you're walking your fingertips away from your body and pressing into the palms of your hands so much that your elbows reach off the ground, but rotating those elbow pits to reach up towards the sky, externally rotating your arms here so that you can broaden across the shoulders. Tucking those toes under and shifting up and back into your downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet, swaying the hips, whatever you need to do in your first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Maybe pressing into your fingertips so much that you can reach your chest more towards the ground. One more breath here, finding the stillness. And then slowly walking your feet up to your hands, trying to get your heels to the ground first before your toes. And then coming to your forward fold stretch here, maybe interlacing your fingers behind your legs or grabbing opposite elbows behind your knees. Keeping your knees bent here to begin. Bring your belly to your thighs. Finding that crease, that fold from the hip. And then you can work towards letting your head fall to the ground. It doesn't actually touch, but letting it fall towards the ground and working on straightening those legs but the hamstring stretch. Maybe shaking your head, yes and no, letting that release. Release your hands to the ground. Go ahead and roll up your spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time to come up to standing. Take your time. And we'll meet at standing at the top of our mats. Pressing into the feet so much that you engage the legs but release the butt muscles. Reaching your lower ribs and hip bones towards each other, standing tall, broadening through the collarbones in Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. Straight arms in line with your ears, still Tadasana in the body. On your next exhale, hinge forward. Come back to that forward fold, hands to the ground. On your next inhale, we're going to lift halfway, creating 90 degrees with the body. Fingertips to the outer edges of the shins. And then exhale, plant the hand, step back to a plank, knees up or down. Shifting forward, bending the elbows back to 90 degrees. Knees up or down, and then come to your belly. Bringing your fingertips in line with your nipples here, pressing in to the tops of your feet. Inhaling to peel your chest up off the ground for a low cobra. And then exhale, shift your hips back through child's pose. Tucking those toes under, come up to downward facing dog. Breathing here. Pressing into your hands, bringing those elbow pits, rotating up towards the sky to release your shoulders towards your hips. Looking forward to your hands, step, walking, or floating to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift, fingertips to the outer sides of the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, bending the knees slightly, coming up with a long spine, reaching those arms out and up overhead. And then exhaling your hands through center, down to the ground. We're going to go through that one more time, listening to your body and taking your versions. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, fold forward, bend at the knees. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant those hands, stepping back towards plank into chaturanga. Or if you want to jump back, make sure you land with bent elbows, coming into chaturanga. Inhaling, low dog, low cobra, or upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, just the hands and the feet touch the ground, broaden through the chest. And then exhale, shift back into downward facing dog. One more breath here. Exhale, look between the hands, step, walk, or float your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend knees, long spine. Reach your arms out and up, coming to standing. Exhale, hands through center, arms to your side. Bringing your toes to touch and your heels slightly apart. Sitting back and down into your Utkatasana, your chair pose. Try to keep the weight in the heels to protect the knees here. You can bring all 10 toes up off the ground if you want to play. Inhale, maybe bringing the arms up overhead in line with your ears. Sitting deep here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, your version of a chaturanga, upward facing dog on the inhale, or a low cobra. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Bringing that right knee into your chest, planting it in between your hands. Bringing those left toes in slightly, planting the heel so that the foot can be flat on the ground, 45-degree angle, angling toward the top corner of your mat. Bending in that right knee here, stacking the knee over the ankle. Inhaling, chest up, arms up, in line with your ears for your warrior one position. Try to face your chest to the wall in front of you. Reaching your low ribs and hip bones towards each other to protect that lower back. Maybe pressing the palms together, bringing that down in front of your face more. Bending at the elbows, 90 degrees here. Upper arms in line with your shoulders. Can you bring your elbows to touch? Pressing into that arm variation. Keeping your legs, don't forget, keeping that bend in your right knee. Maybe, if you can support the low back with your abdominal muscles, bringing your shoulders up, looking up, finding that back bend through the upper part of your spine. Breathing here, inhale, and exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to either side of your right foot. Hop up onto those back toes, stepping back through plank. You can go directly back to downward facing dog or flow through your version of vinyasa. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Left knee into your chest. Planting that left foot in between your hands. Bringing that right foot in slightly so that the heel can touch the ground, flat foot. Making sure that your right toes are angled towards the front corner of your mat. Bending that left knee, stacking big knee over the ankle. Inhale, long spine, chest up. Maybe come up with your arms overhead. And inhale, finding warrior one on this side. Low ribs, hip bones reaching towards each other to engage the abdominal muscles here, protect the low back. Maybe bringing your hands to touch, bending at the elbows, bringing your elbows to touch if you can, pressing your forearms and your hands together. Don't forget about your legs, keep the engagement. Low ribs and hip bones reaching towards each other, maybe finding a back bend for the upper back, up from the shoulders. Inhale, reaching those arms up to the sky. One more breath here. And then exhale, let it go. Hands on either side of your left foot. Maybe stepping back, maybe shifting to downward facing dog or flowing through your vinyasa. Exhale, low plank chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment, reconnect to your breath, pressing into your hands, broadening across the shoulders, pressing into your feet, engaging through the quads. Look forward, exhale, step walk forward, jump your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bending at the knees, coming into your chair pose. On your inhale, arms by the ears, knees bent. And exhale, come up to standing. Finding your Tadasana, reconnecting, pressing into the feet. Low ribs, hip bones, don't forget. And then inhale. You can keep your hands on your hips this time. Sitting your hips back to chair, hands on the hips. Or we're going to do eagle arms. So we're going to start by bringing our arms out to the side. And then bringing your arms together. Right upper arm stepping over your left upper arm, bending at the elbows and trying to reach your palms towards one another. And then pressing your upper arms away from your chest to find a nice stretch through the upper shoulders. Sitting back deeply in that chair pose here, bringing your eyes to stillness, if you can, and just listen if possible. Finding balance, pressing into that left foot, bringing your right knee in towards your chest, and then reaching it back behind you, coming into a lunge with your right knee stepping over your right ankle. Maybe bending through that right knee, the back leg. Inhaling here, tucking those low ribs and hip bones together, reaching your arms up to the sky, maybe looking up for a little bit of a back bend here. Holding for another few breaths. Finding a deep lunge. You push your back knee down, totally cool. But if it's up, find strength. Press into that front heel. One more breath in. And then exhale. Maybe release the arms and sweeping them up overhead for a regular lunge Anjaneyasana position. Maybe bringing your hands back to your hips to float that right knee back up in towards your chest and planting it down. Coming back to your Tadasana. Hands on your hips. And we'll flow right through the other side. Shifting your hips back, hands on your hips. Coming to your seat, your chair pose, the chair that you'll never find, but you'll constantly be reaching for. Reach your arms out to the side if you want to find eagle arms. This time, the left arm on top of the right arm, stacking at the upper arms, bending at the elbows, and trying to find your palms towards each other. Keeping that arm position, sitting back deeper in your chair pose as you bring your left knee up in towards your chest before reaching it back behind you, hovering it over the ground before planting it into your lunge position. Right knee stacked over right ankle. Maybe bend in the left back leg. Inhaling here. Low ribs and hip bones reaching towards each other to protect that lower back. Maybe reaching those arms up, finding stretch through the upper back. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. One more big deep breath in. And then exhale as you release the hands. Bring them back to your hips. Pressing into that front right foot. And then stepping your left foot up, knee into chest. And then plant your feet together, toes touch. Sit back into your Utkatasana. Maybe inhale, arms up. In line with your ears. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a half lift. And exhale, flow through your version of a vinyasa. If you're jumping back, land with bent elbows. Inhaling to your version of low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, shifting up and back to downward facing dog. Pressing into the hands and into the feet. Looking forward in between your hands. Step up or float to your feet, to your hands. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bending the knees, coming up with a long spine. Arms up overhead for that inhale. And then exhale, release the hands down by your sides. And we are going to come into full eagle pose. So, standing at the top of your mat, reaching those arms out to the side, right upper arm on top of left upper arm, bending at the elbows, trying to bring your palms together, and then sitting back into your chair. Pressing all the weight into your right foot, and bringing your left knee into your chest to then stack your left thigh over your right thigh and staying there, or tucking those left toes behind your right calf. Sitting deeper here, In your eagle pose, your version, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Inhaling, reaching your chest long, your elbows away from your chest. If you'd like to bend your knees more and folding in, bringing your elbows to your knees. And then inhale back up. If you'd like to bring your left knee up into your chest and then shifting back towards a lunge, or you could just release and come to standing. If you're in standing, you can stay there or flow through your version of a vinyasa. If you're in lunge, release your arms. Inhaling your arms up to the sky, and then exhaling, flowing through your version of a vinyasa. Stepping back to a plank, exhaling through chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog, and exhaling downward facing dog. Wherever you are, meet with downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths to reconnect. Pressing into the fingers and into the palms of the hands. Bringing those elbow pits to the sky. Pressing into the feet to bring your tailbone to the sky. Exhale, look forward, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bending the knees slightly. Bring your arms out and up, come to standing. Arms overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. And we'll go right into the other side. Toes touch, heels slightly apart. You've done this pose a few times already. Sitting back into your chair. And that hinge forward might help you find some expansion as you bring your arms out to the sides and then stacking your left upper arm over your right upper arm, bending at the elbows, finding your palms to touch one another. Sitting deeply here, reaching those arms away from your chest, bringing that right knee up and into your chest, stacking your right thigh over your left thigh. Staying there, great place. If you want more, tucking those right toes behind the left calf. Trying to keep yourself facing forward, sitting deeply in the hips. It helps you balance, trust me. Reaching those arms away from your chest, maybe up. Breathing here. Maybe crunching down, bringing your elbows and knees to touch. For one breath. Coming out of it. Staying in your eagle pose, or coming out of it if you're ready. Or keeping eagle arms, releasing that right leg, bringing your knee towards your chest, and then reaching it back, stepping into a lunge. Inhaling into your lunge. Reaching your arms up, releasing the bind from your arms and reaching them up in line with your ears. And exhale, flowing through your version of a vinyasa. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Bringing your knees to the ground, sitting back on your heels, reconnecting to your breath in some stillness here. Close the eyes if it's all right, and try to stack your shoulders over your hips. Just take a moment, release anything that happened or didn't happen. It's just yoga. It doesn't really matter, but it also matters a lot, right? Inhaling deeply, fully expanding through a long spine. And then you can open up your eyes if you'd like. Shift your hips over to one side to bring your legs out in front of you. Bending the knees here, stacking, planting the soles of your feet into the ground, about a foot away from your hips. It's going to depend on how long your legs are. We're going to come up into a reverse tabletop position. So planting your hands behind your back, your fingers can face towards your hips, or they can fan out to the side, whatever's okay for your wrists and your shoulders. Wherever you are, take a moment here to inhale and broaden through the chest, tucking your shoulder blades towards each other here, expanding through the chest, pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet, bringing your hips up, coming into that reverse table. You can walk your feet out if it was too short of a stance. Inhale, expanding through the chest, pressing up through your feet, bringing those hips higher, letting your head fall back if you'd like. One more breath here, inhale, and exhale, release your hips back down. We're going to do that one more time. If you need more, you can straighten out the legs into a reverse plank position. We're going to come back into that table or plank position. I'll walk you through plank. Keeping your hands back behind you, fingers facing towards your hips or fanning out to the side. Going to inhale, press into the hands, expand through the chest, and then bring your hips up. Reverse plank or reverse table. Pressing into the entire hand, pressing into the feet, bringing your hips higher. Maybe letting your head fall back if you like. Inhale here. Staying here on the exhale. Inhale here. And then exhale, release it back down to the ground. Release, shifting forward to release your hands. Give your wrists a little shake. Shake it out. Give them a little love. Maybe interlacing your fingers and sort of rotating through those wrists. I really like that one. That's good. Sitting up tall here, releasing your hands down to towards your hips and planting them onto the ground. Coming into stack pose, Dandasana. Pressing your hands into the ground, but reaching those shoulders away from your ears. Shoulder blades down towards your hips. Flexing through the feet, engaging the legs, sitting up tall here. And then exhale. Shifting your hips forward slightly and slowly come down one vertebra at a time, coming down onto your back. Maybe bring your knees in towards your chest. Maybe give them a little rock and roll. This time, we're going to stack the right thigh over the left thigh for this Gomukasana, the way we started, but this time supine. See if you can't grab your lower legs here, fanning the lower legs out to the side, engaging through the feet, flexing the feet to protect them. Maybe bringing your legs out to the side, and you bring the chest, your knees towards your chest. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, release that hold with your hands. Bringing your hands out to the side in line with your shoulders or bending at the elbows. Letting your knees stack one on top of the other, fall over to the left. They don't have to touch the ground at all. It's more important that you bring your shoulder blades both to the ground. Right shoulder still glued to the ground. Breathe in here. One more long, big, full inhale. Exhale, let it go. Releasing the cross at your knees and stacking that right knee over your left knee before bringing your knees back up to center. Planting the right foot, maybe stacking that left thigh over the right thigh, crossing it over as high as you can. And then maybe bringing that in towards your chest, your knees in towards your chest, flexing the feet, maybe grabbing the lower legs, maybe pulling that in towards yourself. Wherever you are, this is where you need to be. Inhaling here, and exhaling here. Releasing the arms, stacking them to the ground in line with your shoulders. And letting your knees stacked and crossed fall over to the left. Your knees never need to touch, but keep your shoulder blades glued to the mat. Both shoulder blades glued to the mat. You can look over your left hand if you like. Inhaling along spine, and exhaling, release. Breathing here. On your next inhale, release the cross of your knees, stacking your left knee on top of your right knee before bringing them back in towards your chest. Bring both knees in towards your chest, hugging them in. Maybe taking happy baby, arms on the inside of your legs to reach to the outer edges of your feet. And then pressing your feet up to the sky, keeping your tailbone down to the ground. Maybe shift side to side, straightening your legs, whatever feels good. Opening your legs out to the side, whatever feels good. Play around. This is for happy baby. Play, explore, and find what else you need. Any other shape, any other prop, if you need a sip of water, whatever it is. Coming back into stillness. Finishing where we started. Back on our breath. Finding that comfortable position here. Whatever is comfortable for you. When you're ready, come to your back for a few breaths, relaxing your body. Coming to stillness, closing the eyes, letting your arms fall away from your body. Let your legs fall away from each other. Releasing any tension in your face, around your eyes, letting your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Coming into stillness. Finding some gratitude for your body and your mind and your spirit for all coming together to be able to practice this asana. Breathing in that love and gratitude. Deep full inhale. Maybe exhale to share it. Staying here for a few moments. Always stay on your back. But if you're ready, maybe bringing some movement into your hands and your feet. Maybe bringing the soles of your feet planted behind your hips. Maybe rolling over to your left side, bringing your arm up in line with your ear. And then using your right hand to press yourself back up to seated. Coming upright into your Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. Sitting up tall, eyes closed, hands to heart center. I want to thank every person for sharing this practice, some virtual energy together. The light honors and loves the light in you. In other words, namaste. All right, thank you for tuning in. As always, it is such a joy to practice yoga with you. The normal donation process, I'll post it in the description below. Through Venmo, 60% of donations, I then donate. So 10% goes to the Buckeye Tree Lodge for letting me use this wonderful space. And then 50% to a different charity each week. This week will probably go to wildfire relief. As it becomes imminent that I will be one of them, I want to pay it forward however I can to help everybody else who's going through this, especially people with more responsibilities and animals. There's a lot of human evacuations and animal evacuations, not only pets, but livestock and horses and chickens and farms. And so let's help each other out. And I know there's also some hurricanes going on, so maybe we'll work on that for next week. We can send some donations their way to the East Coast. Okay. Anyway, shoot me a message if you want to chat. And thank you again for tuning in. And have a great day.